Welcome to the Mental Health and the Struggling Artist podcast. I'm your host, Brett Copeland. Today's guest is someone I not only respect professionally, but know personally. Scott Bihlman is a good friend of mine and a contemporary whose career I've admired for years. We actually met on a commercial audition many years ago. He's an Emmy Award-winning musician and actor who has toured the world, worked alongside some of the biggest names in music, and appeared in major national commercial campaigns and films, and he's even performed at the White House for President Bill Clinton. Welcome, Scott Little Bihlman. How you doing today?
I am good, sir. How are you?
I'm doing excellent. Thanks for asking.
Yeah.
So, we have been in the business our entire lives, and we met each other on an audition, actually, in Santa Monica many years ago. We have a similar career path where we're both in the arts, not only in music, but in as authors and as actors.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Can you start by describing your background as a musician and actor and even an author and how you entered the industry to begin with?
Yeah. Well, you get the calling, if you will. I got mine around like 14 years old. I just got obsessed with music. And where like what I gravitated towards, it was drums at first. Literally pots and pans, playing off records, anything I could get my hands on, stuff like that. And then gradually got into guitar and some vocals and things like that. To not go down too much of a rabbit hole with it, I got accepted. I actually had a full ride football scholarship to Michigan State, but I didn't take that. I went to Musicians Institute instead in Hollywood, California. And that was the beginning to really the catapult into the industry and what that was, and not having parents or uncles or anything within the industry. I really did not know what the hell I was getting into. So I went through MI, which was really probably the greatest thing I ever did for myself to understand how to read music and charts and really swim in the waters of being a technician as being a musician. Because being a singer songwriter and things like that and stuff, I do tell my students, and when I tell people is, you really do need one instrument that you're proficient on. Like, you can do sessions, you can work with other people and have that vocabulary going within your life and everything like that. So yeah, did the whole Sunset Strip thing for a while. Then I hooked up with my brother. We went to Chicago. My brother's a very, very good blues guitar player. He got noticed by Buddy Guy. And then I was his brother. And then I started cutting my teeth, literally going all over the world with these phenomenal blues legends. Learning the craft and getting out there and really being in that whole deal. It did lead to the White House, which was great. Got to play there with Sun Seals, the Bad Axe. They did a blues series that like B.B. King was on, and I think Johnny Lang was on it. Clapton was on it and stuff. And somehow Sun got in. I was playing with Sun, so played the White House, man. That was incredibly awesome. Then went back to Los Angeles, doing, pretty much looking for more connections. My brother and I had a successful run in Southern rock, blues rock and stuff, and got to work with Jim Gaines. Yes, we've gotten to pull some Emmys out of the industry and things like that and stuff. But yeah, the acting thing, I'm not that serious on the acting thing. I love movies. I love going to movies. It's cool being in them. And I think you definitely need to study the craft. And I got lucky enough to do, some national commercials and some features and stuff, and meet one of my best friends doing it, Mr. Brett Copeland.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely. And a hell of a talent, great guy. And the industry, it's a tough one. And you manage it well. And it's really a mental, on the mental health thing, it is at least 75% managing your life through the entertainment business mentally.
Oh, I'm glad you brought that up. That's what I want to talk about. So Over the years, you've toured worldwide, you've worked in major commercials and films, and like you said, even performed at the White House. What did those peak moments back then feel like in terms of stability, career expectation, and how was your overall mental health during that time?
Well, I never really felt like I had a solid um, foundation under my feet in the entertainment business. You go on tours, you cut the records, you go on tours, you do this, and whether you're doing it with your own band or you're doing it, you're backing another artist and stuff like this. It's really that process. It's like the record came out, and you got to tour domestically, and then it's so cool, going overseas and doing all those shows and stuff like that, and then that campaign, it's kind of like campaigns. And then when that campaign is over, you have to either do it all over again. You get if you're backing somebody else, you get the call or you don't get the call. Then you got to sit around mentally thinking about, well, geez, man, I killed it on the last tour. We had a great time. And I didn't get the call to go do this next campaign, the next record, the next tour, or whatever. Or you'll do two records in a campaign and then that ends. And that is there's ways to get around it, but I would say that is one of the most heavy brain twisting thing is why you might not get a call back, and you don't want to go down rabbit holes with, hey, did this guy not like me? Did I not like that? What have you? It's really weird. And it's even as weird, like even like somebody like Josh Freese that was killing it with the Foo Fighters, just didn't get the call back for the next campaign. And it's like, that's crazy because he's one of the greatest drummers we have.
So earlier in your career, you mentioned to me once or twice that the creative work paid significantly more than now.
Yeah.
What were the income streams like back then compared to today, 2025?
Well, for one, there wasn't such a massive YouTube thing going on, you it was it was hard. It was very difficult, but if you could get over that hurdle, you could get on radio. And radio, people are forced to like listen to the songs. It's like I remember growing up with MTV. It's like you had to go through, artists you didn't like, and then oh man, this is the band that I wanted to, this is the video I wanted to see, and all that kind of stuff. And with that, you had more control over leveraging live performance, record deals, publishing deals, something like that, because it's like, hey, we're, on the radio, we got this going on, and all that kind of stuff. And so you would also have relationships with radio stations where they would put you on gigs and things like that, and you would get paid for that.
And they don't do
It
that
would up
anymore,
your
right?
whole. Yeah, they don't do that anymore. They and that would transfer over to go on the road. Some big. My brother and I went on the road with BB King and Ray Charles and ZZ Top and Ted Nugent, and I mean, as young guys going out there and doing that, man, that was just phenomenal. But now that YouTube is here and things like that, people have really, you know, have access to a bigger ocean. I mean, a much bigger ocean, which it's just a harder competitive situation. And honestly, and this is what I've really come across, is that people just take art for granted, especially with music. They just take it for granted. They're like, I'm not going to pay for this record, really. I mean, I can go to YouTube. I mean, I remember we would put out a record. We'd do a CD release party, and literally the next day, somebody uploaded our whole record to YouTube.
Right.
And there was nothing you could do about that. And that's actually been signed. Like, we were with Megaforce Records, which is Sony Records. And I remember calling Missy at the label saying, hey, somebody just uploaded this. They're like, yeah, we'll look into it. Well, they never really did look into it. So this guy uploaded the record, and he's just making money off our record in that regard and
So
things like that.
there's a massive income and industry shift that's happened.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And how about commercial work? When we met, I know, we get a commercial, it'd be 20, 30, $40,000 for a commercial.
Yep.
Now it seems like, would
Well,
you
what I hear
agree?
from what I hear from the streets is it's like you'll get the gig, you got to go through the whole auditioning process, and it's not going in the room and meeting people, things like that. And I got to tell you, as an artist on any medium, on any platform, that is what gives me my most joy is to meet people and to talk to them, and you're feeding off that person, everything like that. And the self-taping things like that has just been a nightmare.
I want to
For
get into that. That's a technological disruption, right?
yeah,
Because
absolutely, absolutely,
now now you have to be a great actor, but you also now have to be able to record and edit and send your audition out, but all self-generated, correct?
all self. Yes, absolutely, and it ups the heavy lifting has gotten heavier, and the joy of communicating with another actor or meeting a casting director or the whole process of walking in and there's cameras and there's people, it's exciting, you're nervous, it's like, man, I hope this goes well. Hey, how you doing? Hey man, I saw you at the last audition. So it's how we met, dude.
Yeah. Yeah.
So now the community is collapsing, so
So
you're taking away the interaction through humans on a new level, and everybody wants the prime directive that you want it to be successful. Like, I don't care if you're doing a national commercial or a regular commercial or a movie, everybody has a prime directive that they want this to succeed. And there's an energy with that that's phenomenal. When you're locked in your room trying, with your little camera, trying to do this whole thing, it for me, it takes away the joy of why I got into this business. I will go do a solo acoustical gig for 10 people. I don't care. Or cool enough to go play a massive show back in somebody in another country or whatever. And I'm telling you, man, it's that whole interaction that keeps me in this business. If technology and AI cuts it back too far, I just don't find joy in it.
right. And I know even, the great John Fogerty from Creedence Clearwater Revival, you got to record with him, but you had to
Mm-hmm.
go through a self-tape even for that. Isn't that correct? You didn't go rehearse like you would have 20, 30 years ago. You had to record yourself drumming for this guy and send it to him.
Yeah, that is absolutely correct. Their management hit me up and said, "Hey, can you self-tape your, doing I think it was 3 or 4 old Creedence songs and stuff like that," and I did it. And I don't know, like 2 weeks later, like, "Hey, can you come in and do the session and all that?" But yeah, that was the thing there. And yeah, I mean, that's the way the technology is. That's a good point. That's a very good
Okay.
point. It was and it was one of my, I grew up with CCR and the whole thing, so like that. So I put an effort in anything that I do. I really do try to do the best I can with it. With that one, I really hoped and did, I played each song, 3 or 4 times. I edited it. I sent it out. It was a big pain in the ass. But that, to me, that was really, really worth it.
Right, right.
Trying to sell a better hamburger for Burger King isn't. And, it is the residual. And the residuals are a huge thing for us. And I just, I don't know, a month ago or whatever, ran into a guy that booked a national, and it was like $5,000, and that's it, buddy.
Right. And both of us have booked national commercials for 20, 30, forty
Yes,
thousand dollars. Oh,
absolutely.
okay.
With the potential that it runs again another year.
Exactly. Exactly. Well, there's now something else that's come across, in this technological disruption, which is AI, and not only in music, because now if you want to get a song placed, they can just have Suno do it, as you know.
Yeah.
But also, I know you did some extra work for a long time. We all did at one point.
Mm-hmm.
But now, it seems like, well, what are your thoughts on this AI impacting extra work and music creation and music licensing? And do you feel like creative jobs are at risk of becoming obsolete, or do you possibly see new opportunities emerging?
Yeah, that's a great question. Well, I will tell you this. to jump to the last part of the question is you want to put yourself in the position that you are the one that is handling AI, that you are the guy that is hey, I'm running the AI. Now I know that sounds funny because AI is going to ultimately run us, but we are still, that's the position you want to be in, is that if there's 12 people working somewhere and stuff like that, you're the guy doing that, because you will have your job longer if you know how to wheel the AI until AI ultimately takes us over.
So you think it's going to take us over?
Yes, I absolutely do. Okay, so my brother and we've actually got 4 Emmys out of the whole deal with music placement. I could go down a rabbit hole with that, but we've gotten just, 50, 60 placements and major stuff. It's worked out. We've won the stuff. Okay, that's really well and great. I have publishing deals even right now. I used to have 10. I only have 3 now. But my thing is that one of my main people he is now the guy in charge wheeling AI, which he could easily cut me out, because if he says, "Hey man, if a script hits the floor and they're like, hey man, we need a car chase, and it needs to be like a Starsky and Hutch meets Hawaiian 5-0 or whatever, Hawaii 5-0, and something else, right? He can just put all that in there, like, and then he makes all the money doing that. So he's wheeling the AI and cutting me out. That is 100% going to happen. And even I have no problem, man. I mean, I think extra work is, again, I'm not trying to win an Academy Award. So I'll go, yeah, man, you want me to go, do this thing? It's no problem. And it took me a lot to get in SAG. I got in SAG, I pay my dues, I'm doing all this kind of thing and stuff like this. But I will tell you, what did I do? I did this, it was Winning Time. Yeah, man, I'm playing a cop. And it was just me and 4 or 5 other dudes with green screens. And I've seen that season come up, and it's like, dude, there's a whole arena there of people that I'm telling you I couldn't even tell you that are not there now. It's so real.
Right.
So I think if anybody is, I don't want to be a doomsday prophet, but I think print ad models, commercials, extra work, I think we're dying breed. I think you're living on an aqua lung that is 90% gone, man. And what does that do? It puts a fire under your ass to up your game in other departments and stuff like this. I've even heard from some producers and things like that they're getting ready to do a whole movie with like Steve McQueen, Paul Newman, Marlon Brando, Marilyn Monroe. They're going to do this kind of stuff. And if you see these kind of dripped in things on Instagram, I mean, I'm telling you, it is amazing. I just saw Gandhi fighting Hitler, sir.
Right. I've seen that.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it looks so real. It's like, wow, that's just incredible.
Okay. I only have a few more minutes, and you're actually answering a lot of questions before I ask them, which is great.
Okay, great.
Um, the psychological impact. How have these financial and technological changes affected your mental health or sense of identity as a creative professional?
Well, let's throw a little Darwin into the thing. It's not the strongest animal or the smartest animal that survives. It's literally the one that's most adaptable. And you're constantly adapting to the constant moving thing that it's AI is the only thing that we've ever known in the whole history of mankind that every 5.5 months it triples its knowledge and ability. So if you took Michael Jordan, 5.5 months later, he's better than Michael Jordan. And then that's better than Michael Jordan. And then that's better than Michael Jordan. And it just goes. And then, we try to adapt to that kind of speed and that kind of thing that's happening. And it's happening in real time. Like I can see something on Instagram that's, oh, I can tell that's AI. 3 weeks later, dude, I can't even tell you that it's not. So
Okay.
psychologically, in a survival fight or flight mode, you feel your vulnerability that, man, I mean, there is a beast out there that is stronger, faster. It never sleeps. It doesn't really need to eat. I mean, it just never stops. And once that, for all artists out there, once that starts to tread on your turf, you start to really understand that, man, it's not good.
Would you say there's burnout, discouragement, or are you even questioning whether to continue in the industry?
Oh, my thing, what I've been saying a lot lately is that, hey, man, I had a good run. I mean, it's like, I'm going to keep going. I'm a lifer, I'm going to keep going and things like that. But I think that, um, I have an 8-year-old daughter, and I don't know in 10 years what her future looks like. I mean, I personally would not be telling anyone to invest in anything that has to do with AI. Let me just summarize that a little better. We have now done something where AI is a billion times smarter than our brains. Now we've done something where now AI is a billion times stronger than our body. So we've invented the robot and we've invented the brain. Where does that leave us? Where does that leave us? And it leaves us that we've slit our own throats technically to move forward with our existence. And that existence is, I don't know if anybody is really hip to Jeffrey Hinton, but he's the godfather of AI and stuff like that. And he said that, man, I mean, we didn't have any running water. Now we have hot water and everything like that. We had, the Model T, and then that moved into combustion, engines to the form of like Cadillacs and all that stuff. Then we go to the moon or whatever, which might be a whole nother podcast. But I'm saying that that's what man does. We just keep creating until we phase ourselves out.
Right, right. Well, have you adapted any strategies or habits that helped you manage with these clear uncertainties and emotional stressors? How do you stay motivated in this industry? Other than knowing that your time has been a great ride, as you say, but it's maybe coming to an end, how do you stay motivated and deal with the emotional stress?
Well, I strongly I study Zen very, very hard. And with that is a rabbit hole that we won't get into at this point, but I will say that you want to stay curious with life. You can't take life too seriously. It's not how heavy the load is, it's how you carry it. And when you return literally as a child's mind to just see how the world develops and how circumstances develop, and to really get an understanding of memento mori, that we are all going to die. And I'm not a doomsday prophet. I'm not setting up information we don't know, but it's the whole thing is you might as well do something you love in this life than to go sell yourself for something because the result is this that you don't like, because the result is the same. So I stay motivated as staying curious and try to look at this with a beginner's mind of, hey, man, I cut a new song, I cut a new record, this and that and everything, and where he's going. And that's kind of cool there and everything like this. Just be an observer of this life. For me personally, that is what gives me energy and keeps me moving forward.
Fantastic.
Yeah, if you think too much about where AI is going and how the industry is, stuff like that, I mean, you won't even get out of bed in the morning. But just stay curious.
Well, thank you so much. I'm going to end with one last question. And, like I said, you're a great interview. You have answered questions before I even asked them.
Oh, that's nice, buddy.
Yeah, you're very wise and savvy. My question is this: is there anything that you're hopeful about for the future of the arts?
Yeah, I think that don't go gently into that good night. And humans don't. We persevere, we push through, and by God, at the fucking last part of it, it's a fist in the air going, you know what, man? We're still here and we're still going until we're not anymore. And and that's art, passion. There's so much passion in art, and we're a passionate breed. And I think we're just going to fight until our last breath. And whether that's you, me, or some other kid or whatever, I mean, until the last thing, man, it's going to be, we are human. We're here. This is what we do until we phase out. And that's always been a cause for me. I just pedal to the metal and let's just keep on trucking. And if one day we're out, we're out. But keep forging ahead. The endeavor to persevere, sir.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Scott Little Bihlman, my
Yes, sir.
first guest on episode 1 of Mental Health and the Struggling Artist. I appreciate your time, your wisdom, your hard work, and it was very enlightening. Thank you so much.
Man, it's my pleasure. Absolutely.